I want to get back to this morning's jobs report. It showed 315,000 jobs added last month. And guess what? Labor Secretary Marty Walsh joins me now to break down the numbers. Good morning to you, Secretary. 315,000 jobs added. The unemployment rate ticking up a little bit to 3.7%. What's your overall take on this report?
You know, I think it's a great report in a couple of ways. Number one, obviously, 315,000 jobs is a big number. And then we saw the labor participation rate go up a little bit as well. And that's why we saw an increase in the unemployment number. And what we need to do, and companies in America want to see more and more people go back into the workforce. That's something we've been talking about for the last several months, and actually maybe longer than that. So this is an overall good report for the most part when you look at the end of the day here.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell has said, look, the labor market, in his opinion, is clearly out of balance. And he says there's going to be more pain for the labor market. Unemployment rate expected to rise as the Fed rate rises right along with it. I mean, how much does that concern you?
Well, we haven't seen it yet. I mean, we keep seeing, though, that unemployment rate staying pretty stable. We're seeing more and more people come into the workforce. We're seeing more and more jobs add to the economy. And I think that, we're in a very interesting time when it comes to our economy. It's unlike any other time prior to this. When we talk about we're not in a recession period, and we're not in the 2008 or 2002 and 1 when we had more challenges. So, what we're going to continue to do, companies are still hiring. People are still, there's emerging industries, and then the legislature here in Washington and the president passed some significant piece of legislation that's going to only add to more jobs for our economy, whether it's the infrastructure bill, the CHIPS bill, the Inflation Reduction Act. All of those investments and all those bills are about promoting our economy moving forward.
And Secretary, you mentioned companies are hiring. More than 11 million job openings at last report. That's almost 2 jobs per person out of work. I mean, how do you explain that?
Well, that's one thing. I mean, the previous question, we're talking about the job market slowing, but yet we have, we have so many jobs opening. And I think, there's a couple things. I think that what the pandemic has done is put a spotlight on, I don't know if inequity is the right word, but the inequity of the job market, which means that we really need to have a serious conversation at some point in this country about immigration. We really have to look at, and when I talk to CEOs from companies all across America, they're all in favor of immigration reform. They're all in favor of pathways of visas of people coming into the United States working. And we're going to have that real serious conversation at some point because it will begin to impact our economy. What I'm concerned about, where I stand, is if those 11 million jobs had to be filled tomorrow, we certainly don't have enough people in the United States to fill those jobs. And companies are going to grow and expand. And I heard your previous report talking about Apple, and you think about we're doing more around electric vehicles and with chips, a lot more manufacturing coming back to the United States of America. So at some point, the issue of workers has to be addressed, and the only way you can do it is through immigration.
Okay, Labor Secretary Marty Walsh, thank you so much, sir, for taking time to chat with us this morning. Do appreciate it.